So I'm Jason Wagner with Wagner Ayler Law Firm in Minnesota, and I'm the president of the firm here. One of the attorneys. We have 9 attorneys altogether, and we were doing it's an estate planning firm, estate administration, and we've been using LawKPIs for probably about a year now, and I found it very helpful because it's got all this data that we have in Clio that I am able to access in a very quick and easy way. We were doing, of course, Clio has their reports, but it doesn't spit it out to you in a way that's very user friendly or that you can track trends or things like that. And so we were doing all of that through Excel programs and different formulas that I had written. But in order to get the volume of data that I really needed, I mean, we were spending probably at least 10 hours a month putting these spreadsheets together, pulling the data manually out of Clio, pumping it into the spreadsheets, when we had time. And then, of course, I have someone else that maybe is doing it for me, and the formula starts to fall apart, or I have to babysit the data to make sure it's all actually going in the right. And so LawKPIs has completely replaced that for us. We are no longer having to pull data manually out of Clio and track it in our own proprietary spreadsheets and formulas. So all of that time that a staff person was doing, we got back. And more importantly, is all that data is at my fingertips now. I don't have to go grab it and manually put it into a spreadsheet. It is fresh every single day. I can go in and see it. It's all timely. And, it pulls back retroactively. So I think we went to Clio in 2018. So I can track trends month to month, year over year, every single year, going back to 2018, which is very valuable for me when I'm looking at, revenue's a little bit down this month. Well, yeah, but it's down that month every year for the past 6 years. That's to be expected. So things like that, where I can see where we start to develop patterns in the law firm with our clients and with our revenue. I really like the profitability report. That's one that I get sent every week. So that's a nice feature is, we're able to set up broadcasts where I can say, this is the report that I want to see every week. I want to get it on Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. Give me a snapshot of the last 7 days, the files that we closed. Did they close profitably or not profitably if they're on a flat fee? So that's a report that I have set just coming into my inbox every week. It's very helpful to see, are we spending the right amount of time? Are we setting the right fees for the type of work that we're doing? And I can get very quick feedback on that. We also then break it down by attorney. Are there some attorneys that maybe aren't as efficient as others? Where can we do some more training with staff or attorneys to help them level up and keeping the file within the flat fee budget? Some other things we like to get is I like to look at by practice area. How much are we getting in practice area? We have a few different practice areas, and then I have my benchmarks that I expect to see, per week in each practice area. So again, that's another one that I have broadcast. I can get a report that says, here's the collected revenue that came in the last business week. And then you break it out by practice area. And in that broadcast, I've put in, hey, here's my numbers that I want to see. And then it'll, so I've got that as something that I know that I keep track of. But then it'll send it to me with the collected time and revenue on those practice areas. So I can see how well we're tracking with what our KPIs are. And again, that's something that comes out every single week. And I have it set up also that it's going to the rest of the management team through Outlook, so that we're all getting that data. Again, just sent to us directly through LawKPIs. Onboarding onto it was pretty seamless. I don't recall having any issues. I think it all went very quickly. It integrates well with Clio, and we have some of our own custom dashboards, which is nice to be able to put that customization in. One of the other things is we have our hourly metrics. So if our attorneys or staff people have billable hour goals, those are built into LawKPIs. And then same thing, I get a weekly email update to show me, here's where the goal is and here's where they are. And is it above or below? And again, I can see that data right away. I can see how we're doing consistently across the firm as well as individually. So that's a really nice feature is, hey, I know that in the firm, we need to have so many hours billed every week. Did we get there? Yes. Who helped us get there? Are individuals also meeting their goals? So those are the ways that I use LawKPIs on a weekly basis or daily in some cases. There's a lot more functionality that is in there that I don't use as often as weekly. We do have the age report. That's one that I usually send monthly, or I have set up to send monthly. So we see aged receivables. Are they at, current, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? And again, that's one that gets automatically sent to my bookkeeper so that they can take a look at, do we have some that are in the 60 or 90-day column that we need to follow up on? Who do we need to, or do we have cases that are active that are falling behind on payment? So that way we can act on that data and keep our accounts receivable very fresh and manageable. And I'll say, I see that in the numbers as our receivables are down in a good way because our bills are getting paid and we're keeping up on it. I would recommend LawKPIs to other firms. Just from what I've seen, if you're not tracking your data, I've always been a big data person. So I've always tracked data. I really like it. But, as you grow and as you're doing your business, you can't be sitting there trying to monkey around with spreadsheets. You need to know your numbers, but there are better ways of getting it than just trying to pull that manually out of Clio. And LawKPIs does that for us in a really good and dynamic way, that we've been able to take time that was being spent on doing some of this manual data tracking and now just relying on this system here. So if you're looking for that type of savings in time, as well as using that data to make better decisions, I think it's worth the investment. That's all I've got.